Part of that training was to go on a trust walk. Maybe you've been on one. You got a partner, and one of you was blindfolded. The one who could see was to take you on a 30-minute walk outside. I hated it, for I don't like living in the dark. I don't like very much being dependent. I don't like not knowing where I'm going. But it taught you to trust someone else. That they would not lead you into a ditch, allow you to fall over a rock, or, yes, even get hit by a car. You put your hand in another's and trusted that they would care for you and do the right thing. But it was only an exercise. And soon I could see again, only this time in a far different way. You know as well as I do that God is always sending us someone to disturb us, to wake us up, to yank our chains, to set us on fire. For the worst thing that could happen to us, religiously speaking, is to hold perfectly still without changing a thing until we turn into fossils. God is not behind us, holding us back. God is ahead of us, calling us, summoning us forward. God is all around us, speaking through the most unlikely people. Sometimes it's a stranger like Bartimaeus. But more often than not, it's a person so familiar to us that we overlook them, like me. So here's what I want to say. I believe that we have everything and everyone we need to hear what God may say to us. We have God's stories and God's food. We have a baptism that calls us to love and respect each other. We have each other's stories which are full of God's graceful love. We're on a journey of a lifetime that we are traveling with God and with each other. Get up. He's calling you. What will you do? What will you do? Hildegard of Bingen was a saint whose feast was recently celebrated, who suggested that in our darkest moments, when we feel removed from God, it's time to look around. Go outside. Sit in the park and look around. Look at what God has made. For the light and impression of God remain in the handiwork which is God's creation. When we celebrate the creation, we also celebrate the Creator. And when that happens, we understand that our focus is on something bigger than ourselves. So, as part of our stewardship this morning, let's just look around and see what we see. We are here with God's people in this sacred place. We have joy here, love here, respect here, sadness here, grief here, healing here, welcoming here, learning here, music here, praying here, fellowship here, eating here, peace here, growth here, and we have all of that and more because people give of themselves and their substance. It costs us something, beloved. And we share the gift of God's love, for in the words of the hymn writer, we return in love what love has made. Bartimaeus wanted his heart's desire and cried out. The disciples said to him, "Get up. He's calling you." What will you do? You can stay where you are. You can remain in the darkened corners of your life. You can stay with what you know, for that's easy. You can refuse to see, or you can get up. Be willing to learn something new. Step out on the promises of God. Learn something real and see what's really real. Fred Craddock is his name. He was a professor of New Testament theology and preaching at Candler School of Theology on the campus of Emory University for a number of years. Time magazine named him one of the top 10 preachers in the United States. I learned to preach from Fred Craddock after I had been preaching for 35 years. The last 5 years, I learned how to preach. Fred was brilliant and simple. He told stories. Here's one I've embellished. Have you ever been to the greyhound races? I mean those dogs, not those buses. They run that mechanical rabbit around the ring until the dogs either catch it or fall down exhausted. When they've outlived their usefulness, they're put up for adoption, and if no one wants them, they're destroyed. Visiting in a home several years ago, there was one of those dogs. He was lying on the floor in the den. Two young children had their heads resting on his belly. He looked like an Norman Rockwell painting. So I said to the dog, "Do you race anymore?" No, he said, I don't race anymore. "What's the matter? Are you sick?" No, he said, I've got plenty of race left in me. "Were you abused?" No, he said, they took very good care of me. "Didn't you make any money?" "Yes, I made an awful lot of money." "What happened?" "I quit." "You quit?" "Yes," he said, "I quit." And then he said, the most amazing thing. Here's what the dog said. "I discovered that what I was running after wasn't even real." All that running and running and running after something that wasn't even real. So I quit. It changed my life. Stewardship is about seeing what is real. It is not about counterfeit gods. It is being able to see all of our days in the very hands of God. Bartimaeus saw his value in the eyes of Jesus, and he returned in love what love has made. So do I. So do you. And so do we all.